Abby, you picked up.
Hey Sam, what's up?
Did you hear about the shark attack in Santa Cruz?
I don't know if that's true. Where did you hear that?
NBC Bay Area. Don't you listen to that?
No, it's so hard to find reliable news stations these days. Is it any good?
Yeah, but the news is so politicized these days, I can never really tell.
Yeah, I'm really picky about where I get my information. I only listen to Crazytown, KOMG.
I've heard that Babs Buttleby and Jim Pickles are really great reporters.
They are great. They always broadcast the most important news. Crime Watch is my favorite segment. It feels a little illegal though.
Apparently, Crazytown's been having some issues with people breaking the law. I think they're covering that tonight.
I really like that they focus on reform and helping those who are too nice. It's nice to see detectives who care so much about the people. Do you know if they cover sports though?
They have some really exciting stuff. I love that Crazytown Sports isn't just about the athletes, it's also about the fans. Are you following the election?
Yeah, the swing states are going to be so influential in the fall.
No, I meant Michake's class election.
Oh, yeah. Their stance on lunch options are so progressive.
It really is so refreshing to see that we have many bright politicians working on legislation for the people.
I know, it gives me hope.
Crazytown News also advertises some really innovative and interesting products.
I know, oh my God. Have you heard of the machine that makes any play PG and PC?
No, that's so interesting.
I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about it tonight.
Abby, it's 5:59. We have to tune into Crazytown KOMG.
It's 5:59 and you're listening to KOMG Action News, Crazytown's news leader. And now, your Action News team.
Good evening, I'm Babs Buttleby.
And I'm Jim Pickles. Thanks for joining us here at KOMG Action News, Crazytown's only newscast that starts at 5:59, therefore delivering your news first.
We are coming to you live from our new home here at Studio 9, a brand new facility that features state-of-the-art weather systems, a world-class touchscreen technology, and a mini fridge.
Tonight's top story, puppies. They can be adorable but also deadly.
For more on this exclusive story, we bring you live to South Crazytown with Sally Spraytan. Sally?
Thanks, Babs. This little fella right here is known as Patches, and let me tell you, he is as adorable as it gets. His little button nose can make a grown man. My face! It's smelling my beautiful face!
Terrific report, Sally.
And now, it's time for worldwide weather with meteorologist Doris Doppelflop.
Thanks, Jim. With our brand new state-of-the-art weather system, not only do all the cartoon suns now wear high-def sunglasses, but all our forecasting has become 100% accurate.
And that's a relatively high percentage, Doris.
Jim, it's almost the highest. Now, in the area where our studio is located, you'll see the system telling us with 100% accuracy. Right now, it's 85 degrees with sunny skies. Well, Jim, I guess we should hit the beach.
Doris, you do realize our building is in the middle of the worst snowstorm in years.
No, that's impossible.
Doris, the snow has literally trapped us in the building.
No, it says here it's 85 degrees.
Doris, you came to work in a sled.
I am bad at my job.
Doris Doppelflop with worldwide weather.
Don't forget your sunscreen.
Shocking news today in religion. A priest, a rabbi, and a minister walk into a bar. We'll reveal the staggering conclusion at 11.
Crime Watch.
That deep voice just said Crime Watch, which means it's time for Crime Watch.
For latest on crime in your neighborhood, we take you live to our crime specialist, Jay Walker.
Okay, you guys, like 10 minutes ago, I was watching a rerun of Cops. I'm not watching it right now, because I'm watching Real Housewives. But 10 minutes ago on Cops, they were chasing this dude down the street, and he had a mullet. It was awesome. Oh, and I got this buddy who works at the police station. He just set it up so my phone gets live videos from their interrogation room. Totally illegal, right? Awesome. They just brought in some guy for questioning. Check it out. Whoa, there's Detectives Kimball's and Mill, and the perp Sheldon. Gnarly.
Sheldon Grimes. Mind if we call you Sheldon?
Why am I here?
We'll ask the questions, Sheldon. Now, you're living at 34 Maple Hill Road?
I am.
Paying down your mortgages on time?
Yes.
That's what I'm seeing here. I also see you're a respected middle school teacher, and on the weekends you work at Crazytown Chocolates, a supplier of chocolate truffles. Kimball here loves chocolate truffles.
I love my truffles.
Quite the pristine record there, Sheldon. Strong work ethic, well liked by coworkers, zero truffle theft.
I guess.
So, to sum up, you're a guy who's polite, works hard, pays his bills, teaches kids, and doesn't steal from work, even while surrounded by chocolates. Tell me, Sheldon, anything wrong with this picture?
I don't think so.
You sure about that?
I'm sorry?
You sure about that?
Is he saying something? I can barely...
You sure about that, punk?
Hey, easy, Kimball. Walk it off. Listen, Sheldon, I'll cut to the chase. You're considerate, you're benevolent, and overall, you're just a good guy. And we're here to tell you, it has to stop.
I don't follow. Did I commit a crime?
Section 8, subsection 12. Read.
Resolved that for at least 20% of every day, each citizen of Crazytown must act like a total jerkface.
That means you're required by law to be inconsiderate, self-centered, and generally obnoxious 20% of the time. The national average is 59. You, my friend, are at 0.
And you thought you could get away with it.
I don't understand. Why is that a law?
Why? It's simple, Sheldon. You make the rest of us look bad.
Real bad.
We've surveilled you for months now, and I'm sorry to say, your behavior has gotten better and better. For starters, we've gotten multiple examples of financial impropriety. Kimball, give him a taste.
March 6th, Sheldon Grimes isn't charged for his Mr. Pibb. Informs Arby's cashier of mistake. June 8th, Sheldon Grimes receives someone else's $6,000 tax credit. Notifies IRS of mistake. October 12th, Sheldon Grimes plasters Exhibit K all over town. A flyer with large print that reads, "Found wallet." I got some news for you, buddy. Keep the freaking wallet.
Now listen up, Sheldon. If my partner here had his way, he'd book you for the maximum sentence, which is, of course, 50 years hard time.
It is?
I know, way too lenient.
But the new mayor's, he's big on rehabilitation, so we have to fix this right here, right now. Joey, send him in. Brace yourself, this will get ugly.
Sheldon, meet Ricky, the biggest jerk in town.
I just farted.
Always a pro.
So, who's this piece of work?
Ricky, meet Sheldon, a real decent guy.
Hi, Ricky.
Ugh, you make me sick.
We need you to whip this piece of work into shape.
Yeah, let's do this, but make it quick. I gotta walk my dog and leave his poo on the sidewalk.
Alright, let's start with the voicemail from September 8th. Hey Joey, play back Exhibit C.
Beep. Hi, Mom. It's Sheldon. Just checking in to see how everything's going with Dad, and to let you know I'll be stopping by Tuesday to water the plants. I love you both very much. Beep.
Let the record show that this voicemail would have been a Class B misdemeanor, even if it was for your own parents. But it was for your in-laws.
Ugh, seriously?
You see, Sheldon, normal people treat their parents or in-laws with a respectable level of disdain, or at the very least, indifference. It's just human nature.
And they don't water their freaking plants!
Hey, easy, Kimball. Walk it off. Now pay attention. Ricky here's gonna show you how to leave a proper voicemail. Ricky, do the honors.
First things first, your mom is so fat, she calls her belle the equator. Second, here's how that voicemail should have gone. Mom, Dad, send money. Boom.
That was beautiful.
All right, next up, here's your last bank statement. Read this.
A $50 donation to the Red Cross.
And why would you do that?
The hurricane.
This guy.
What?
That's not how you help disaster victims, Sheldon.
It's not?
Ricky, tell the man, if you want to help disaster victims,
Retweet a Kardashian.
I don't understand.
Oh man, you are some piece of work.
please, Ricky, tell him how it's done.
Anytime something bad happens, you don't make a donation, you don't help at the relief site, you don't show emotion.
What do?
You wait for a Kardashian to post a frowny face, and you hit retweet. Civic duty, done.
And yesterday, after the Red Sox won, reports show you were respectful of Yankee fans.
No!
Did you bug my home?
Our lead informant is your 6-year-old niece.
Caitlin?
Agent Parker, yes. As the game ended, she covertly recorded this.
Good game, everyone. I'm just so happy it was an exciting competition and that none of the players were injured. Would anyone like more salsa?
Also, not captured on the recording, comforting hugs.
Come on!
Criminal psychologists call this condition MWS, or Modest Winner Syndrome. Now, the only known cure for MWS is intensive training. So our expert here will show you exactly what you need to do. Ricky, for this part, we're really gonna need your F game.
My whole life has led to this moment. Also, I farted again.
That's what's up. Pound it, Ricky.
Okay, drop a scenario on me.
Alright, so imagine you're a Sox fan, and Ortiz just hit a walk-off double to beat the Yankees. All your New York friends in the room are really sad. What's the appropriate reaction? And go.
I am the champion, my friend, and you'll keep on losing till the end. Bow, bow, bow. I am the champion. You're not the champion. You're great at losing, and I am the champion. Bow, bow, bow. Your team is bad at baseball. Bow, 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 bow.
Now that's what a winner sounds like.
Oh my god. I can't breathe.
Now listen up, Sheldon. If you want to walk out of here, your conduct has to reach new depths. We're talking at least half Ricky's level. We would never insist on full Ricky. Full Ricky is too much for one man.
Unless that man is Ricky.
In short, we need you to walk out of here less Sheldon and more Sheldon.
Detective, is turning into a jerk my only option? I'd rather be a good person.
Plan B is prison.
Let's try plan A.
You heard the man, Ricky. Make your magic.
Alright, listen close, because I'll only say this once, and I want to save my voice for loud phone conversations at a movie theater. Are you ready?
I'll do my best.
What's that?
I won't let you down.
Sheldon.
Your mother is relatively large?
Nailed it. Okay. Scenario 1. Your friend Stan and his wife invite you to a party. What do you bring?
Homemade potato salad.
Nope.
Whole Foods potato salad.
No.
Whole Foods macaroni salad?
Come on, Sheldon. Think like Ricky. What do you bring to Stan's party?
Stan's bitter ex-wife?
There you go.
Yeah, attaboy.
Scenario number 2. Scenario number 2. Scenario number 2.
Oh, right, I get it. It's funny that you said number 2 because of the inherent toilet humor.
Nice. Scenario 3. You're at your nephew's Pee-wee hockey game. What are you drinking?
Green tea.
Come on.
Sorry, I forgot. A beer.
Better.
A Four Loko?
Almost there.
8 Four Locos?
Oh yeah. And when the official makes a bad call?
I ask him to be more reasonable.
Sheldon.
I curse at him.
Getting warmer.
I punch him in the groin.
There it is.
Woo! All right, Sheldon.
Last one. you get the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet Barack Obama. What do you tell him?
You're the first Kenyan I've ever met.
Yes!
Sheldon.
Attaboy.
Sheldon.
Well, fellas, my work is done here, and I gotta run. My stretched Hummer's parked across 4 handicap spots.
You truly are despicable.
Thank you.
All right, now for the moment of truth. Sheldon Grimes, are you ready to rejoin society, but this time a little more like every other jerk?
Detective, I've got 3 words for you. I just farted.
And we're back.
Now, for the latest on the apocalypse, we bring you live to Kevin O'Geddon from his living room couch.
It's a futon.
Kevin, what can you tell us about your brand new state-of-the-art apocalypse machine?
Well, it's quite sophisticated. This red light here connects to, this over here, which then winds its way through these things here, which move here over here to this wire, which connects to the Bible.
Kevin, any word yet on whether the end of days is upon us?
No.
Thanks, Kevin. We'll check back in with you later on this broadcast.
Next up, according to some scientists in long white lab coats, there is a groundbreaking new way to cut down on cavities. Our own Olivia Flossboss filed this report.
This is Olivia Flossboss. I'm with Austin for the latest on toothbrushing. He reaches in the back and scrubs all around. Totally fascinating.
Remarkable. And now a word from our sponsor.
Hey, honey.
I want a divorce.
AT&T. Never miss a call.
And we're back.
Turning to Crazytown politics, the election race is heating up faster than you can say McCain-Feingold Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act.
McCain-Feingold Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act.
Even faster than that.
McCain-Feingold Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act.
Precisely that fast.
Wow.
For an exclusive analysis of the latest polls, we take you live to Brody Pullman, who is standing with KOMG's brand new state-of-the-art touchscreen of technology.
Thanks, Babs. Here at KOMG Action News, we take a great deal of pride in being on the forefront of innovation, which is why we are the only Crazytown news station with this amazing new touchscreen of technology. Jim may have mentioned that it's state-of-the-art, but it also happens to be world-class. Now listen closely. First, I'll double-tap here on the map to zoom in on voters from the 8th District, and then drag and drop here. Yeah, it doesn't work. We now take you live to our exclusive coverage of the final presidential debate. Let's listen in.
Greetings and welcome to the Crazytown Elementary School Presidential Debate. I'm Sophia from Miss Shawkay's class, and I will serve as moderator. Today's debate will be structured in a town hall format, with questions posed by you, the students. Now please join me in welcoming the candidates for your student president, Eddie Grantwood and Caitlin Parker. Welcome to you both. Let's get right into it with a question from your fellow students, who have each given us their name and a little something about themselves. The first question comes from Brian Kuda, who's afraid of the dark, but still thinks zombies are awesome.
If you could describe your candidacy in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Before we get started, I'd like to thank the Crazytown Elementary Election Commission, the entire student body, and my opponent for what I'm confident will be an illuminating, constructive conversation. And if I could describe my candidacy in 3 words, I would do so as follows. For too long, our student body has been divided into factions of the haves and have-nots, and under my leadership, all students will have an equal opportunity to achieve their dreams.
Before we get started, I'd like to thank the Crazytown Elementary Election Commission, the entire student body, and my opponent for what I'm confident will be an illuminating, constructive conversation. I would also like to thank the Tooth Fairy, someone my opponent did not think, presumably because she isn't a true believer. Finally, unlike my opponent, I will comply with Brian's 3-word limit and describe my candidacy as follows. 1, my. 2, goals. And 3, include.
The second question comes from Dawn Francisco, who this one time saw a PG-13 movie while her parents weren't home.
I love tater tots. What's your stance on tater tots? To reiterate, I love tater tots.
An excellent question, Dawn. Well, as you can see from my poster, over the last decade, school lunches have seen a disturbing decline in overall quantity of tot. I pledge to reinstate that legislation known as a lot of tots, which requires by law that all lunch trays adhere to my PPP plan. Perpetually plentiful piles of petite potatoed perfection. Ladies and gentlemen, these are difficult times, but make no mistake, I will win the war on taterism.
Look, I'm not going to beat around the potato bush. Tater tots pull at 99.4%. That's a higher approval rating than ice cream trucks. In other words, if you hate tater tots, you hate America. And I don't hate America, unless it's opposite day. Wait, is it opposite day?
It is not opposite day.
I love America. My point is, the more tots, the better. Of course. But do we honestly believe we need more cafeteria bureaucracy? Under my administration, we'll say goodbye to big government lunches and say, hey, what's up? To putting the power in your hands. Under my Lunchbox Lovers program, the choice is yours. Want to bring in a wheelbarrow of tots? Do it. That's what freedom looks like. Because, folks, it's time we leave behind the days of cardboard-grade pizza, half-thawed green beans, and worst of all, and I hesitate to use the M-word, milk. Instead, we, the people, can decide what's for lunch, be it tater tots, corn dog Lunchables, or especially, and this is most important of all, fruit by the foot.
The next question comes from Brandon Slattery, whose career goals include Batman.
Girls are gross.
Thank you, Brendan. Gender issues are a critical part of this election. And as a fellow boy, I thank you not only for bringing it up, but also for not being a stupid girl. Girls are indeed gross. And that will always be the case, despite what my big brother Jim says. Which is why on day one of my administration, I will repeal the student council's short-sighted verdict in Awesome Girls vs. Silly Boys.
Yet again, my opponent is on the wrong side of history. Awesome Girls versus Silly Boys is our generation's most influential ruling, which is why I will throw my full support behind it and ensure the CDC eradicates every strain of cootie and call for punitive damages pursuant to the yanking of pigtails.
This is outrageous. Pigtail yanking rights have been in place since the days of our forefathers. You take that away, what's next? Our water balloons? I'll give you my water balloons when you pry them from my cold, wet hands.
We'll need to move on to the next question.
Sophia, before you do, I'd like to point out that my opponent is a girl and is therefore, by the transitive property of gender, totally.
And I'd like to point out that my opponent is a boy, and in a few years he'll do a total 180 and try to impress me with cheap cologne while I reject him for someone with a driver's license and stubble.
I'm sorry, but we need to move on. The next question comes from Alicia Buck, who managed to join a Zoom meeting all by herself.
I've heard that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. What about the dark?
A fine question, Alicia. I believe this issue is a bipartisan one, and I speak for both candidates when I say that this threat we face is all too real, and we fully support our nightlights.
The two of us don't always agree on everything, but we can set aside our differences here and reach across the aisle to defeat this pure evil. Every evening, coincidentally right around sundown, we are viciously made brutally attacked by darkness. But know this, 12 hours later, we always overcome. That's hope
we can all believe in.
And for our next question, we turn to our Twitter feed. @ChunkyMonkey12 asks, Yo trolls, tots lols, ROFL, DM me with those pics, #YOLO. Well, that was a waste of time. Our next question comes from Emilio Winston, who recently got mustard on his shirt.
In recent months, there has been some debate as to the veracity of the holiday icon known as Santa Claus. Where do you stand?
Thank you for that question, Emilio. First, let's be clear. Santa is real. Irrefutably real. He forms the very bedrock of both our belief system and our candy-based economy. Nevertheless, it is time for serious reform for all things Kringle. His jolly demeanor notwithstanding, Mr. Claus outsources hundreds of good American jobs overseas to his North Pole sweatshops that violate our entire compendium of elven labor laws. This is a man whose reindeer-powered aerial transport is both unsanctioned and blatantly PETA non-compliant. And given the growing obesity epidemic, should we ignore his impudent disregard of the food pyramid? With milk and cookies alone, he exceeds the recommended daily value of saturated fat by 5,000%. In summary, Santa is real, yes, but not immune to regulatory scrutiny. Mr. Claus is not, and has never been, too big to fail.
A vote for Caitlin is a vote against free toys.
The next question comes from Larry Hartley, whose favorite candy is all candy.
We live in a difficult time with difficult challenges. With that in mind, how many jumbo marshmallows can you fit in your mouth?
5.
6.
The next question comes from Edie Ringle, who really loves horsies.
I'm always picked last for kickball. Under your administration, will I ever not be picked last?
Edie, you raise a critical point. How can we, as a recess community, flourish if we don't lend a helping hand to the Edies? That is why under my administration, kickball rosters will be automatically selected by a sophisticated computer algorithm, aka science, which will ensure that everyone gets a chance to be picked first. Everyone.
Well, where I come from, we call that way of thinking malarkey, or stupid, dumb pants. Folks, the fact is, some people are just awful at kickball, and maybe things would be different if we were in Russia playing communism ball, but we're playing kickball in America. And in America, do we pick LeBron James last in the NBA draft? No, because that would be stupid, dumb pants. We'll always pick LeBron James first in basketball, just like we'll always pick Jenny Friedman first in kickball. Why? Because Jenny Friedman is the best at kicking the ball.
The next question comes from Ryan Stevenson, whose Halloween costume was a robot and it looked totally real.
How would you describe your school spirit? The reason I ask is because I've got spirit. Yes, I do. I've got spirit. How about you?
That's a fine question, Ryan. If anyone has Crazytown elementary pride, it's me. As you know, our mascot is the northern elephant seal, which I always proudly display here on my lapel. Ryan, as I look around to the rest of the student body, I see so much northern elephant seal pride and, oh my goodness, I'm only now noticing that my opponent doesn't wear a lapel pin. How fascinating. I suppose school's pride isn't for everyone.
Isn't it compelling that my opponent must overcompensate with outward appearance because of his inner lack of school spirit? A person's true spirit isn't on a lapel, but in the heart. I don't flaunt my school pride on the outside. It's what's inside that counts. And by inside, I am, of course, referring to this elephant seal handkerchief in my pocket. It is noticeably larger than my opponent's lapel pin. I have so much school pride. Northern Elephant Seals is my middle name. And I mean that literally, as my name has legally been changed to Caitlin Northern Elephant Seals Parker.
Ladies and gentlemen, my ringtone.
Alas, my opponent just played the call of the Western Elephant Seal. The Northern Elephant Seal actually sounds like...
If my opponent had true school pride, she would bark with the traditional crane neck and sand flipping motion like this. Ooh! Ooh! Ooh!
While I can appreciate my opponent's valiant effort at an impression, it will pale in comparison to the real thing. Stan, bring on the seal. What's that? Seriously? Oh no. Folks, while the live northern elephant seal that I captured from the wild this morning is now unable to join us, he will always be with me. Seal pride!
Let the record show that my opponent murdered a seal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the end of today's debate, which means it's time for closing statements. Caitlin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sophia. My fellow northern elephant seals, when you sit down and really think, what qualities do you want in a president? Do you want a me-first megalomaniac? Do you want a candidate whose entire Get Out the Vote campaign revolved around not only cupcake bribes, but triple chocolate cupcake bribes? And do you want the kind of person who drinks from the water fountain in that weird way where they stick their entire mouth on the fountain? Or do you want a leader who leads using leadership? The choice is in your hands, your tiny, underdeveloped hands.
Eddie, your closing statements.
I'll put a smell cone machine in every class.
And with that, we've reached the end of today's debate. On behalf of the entire student body, I'd like to thank both candidates for a highly informative conversation. May the best candidate win. That being said, since all past elections were decided by who fit more marshmallows into their mouth, congratulations to our presumptive new president, Eddie Grantwood.
And we're back.
Breaking news in the world of fashion. Plaid is in, denim is out, and extra black is the new black. Also, permanently out of style, bikini while pregnant.
You know what that sound is? It's the KOMG dinner bell, which means I've got a question for our listeners. Who's hungry?
Does that mean what I think it means?
It should, since you've worked here for years and ought to know by now.
I was being rhetorical.
I do not know what that word means.
Neither do I.
The dinner bell means it's time for Cook or Be Cooked with our very own Zelda Chickenfoot.
Merci, Jim. I'm here with world-renowned gourmet chef Jeremiah Crockpot. Now I'm told you'll be preparing a very special treat for us today.
That's right.
It says here the dish is called, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, bag of chips?
Actually, it's pronounced bag of chips.
Wonderful. So now you're going to show us how to prepare this exotic delicacy.
So first, you start with this, and then you do this.
Babs, I would not be able to handle that recipe. In my house, Little Miss Wifey does all the cooking.
That's because you're a loathsome misogynist.
And how?
This just in. We have some alarming news from Crazytown Station. Apparently, a nuclear warhead has been found on the train platform. Oh, I'm just now being informed that it is actually a half-eaten chicken sandwich.
We now check back in with our apocalypse expert, Kevin O'Geddon. Kevin, anything new to report?
No.
Thanks, Kevin. And now a word from our sponsor.
Have you hit financial rock bottom?
I am flat broke.
Crazytown Casinos, where winning is mathematically possible.
Yay!
And we're back. Now, for the latest in the world of boxing, we turn to the Short Sport Report and our very own Carl Muffintop, or the one we lovingly refer to as the heavyweight champ.
Jim, I'm actually fairly self-conscious about my weight.
All right, Carl.
And the report isn't about boxing.
All right, Carl.
And my name is Frankie.
All right, Carl.
That being said, earlier today, the world of golf was rocked when 10-time world champion Panther Shrubs made it an entire 24 hours without cheating on his wife. Also, the world of baseball was rocked when some guy scored without performance-enhancing drugs. Also, the world of ping pong was rocked when it was discovered there is such a thing as professional ping pong. But now, we bring you to our live exclusive coverage of some other sports thing.
Good afternoon, and welcome to our live broadcast of the best fan matchup we've all been waiting for. The championship showdown between future Hall of Famer Donald Baxter and rookie sensation Michael Felton. Don't let the chilly weather here in downtown Crazytown fool you. The mood here is white hot. I'm Merv Johnson, and here to my right is my partner in crime, Tammy Bixby. Tammy, is there any chance this match could possibly live up to the hype?
Merv, I do believe it just might. I'll tell you, I've literally got goosebumps. Feel my arm.
Those indeed are literal goosebumps.
Merv, there is no love lost between these two fierce competitors, and I simply cannot wait for this literal clash of titans.
Well, wait no further, as we now move to the starting lineup.
Crazytown, make some noise!
At 5'7", from Syracuse, he's a grown man with a wife and 2 kids, but still plays video games. Donald Baxter!
Baxter enters the family room, sits down in a lazy boy with his bowl of chips. He uses the remote control to turn on the television.
At 5'8", from Kentucky, he's still single due to his fear of commitment and an over-reliance on Axe body spray. Michael Felton!
Felton follows, carrying a 6-pack. He sits down in the second lazy boy. Eyes locked on the screen, he's ready to play.
And away we go!
Now, as we get started, Merv, I'll repeat what I've said all week, which is that this entire game hinges on the first quarter. It's all about which player establishes himself early.
But so far, Tammy, we're seeing a tepid start from both men, and that is certainly not what we expected.
No question about it, Merv. We're seeing a whole lot of staring straight ahead with no eyeball movement, and in this league you have to have eyeball movement. But Merv, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We both know how explosive these two men can be, and that this game can change just like that.
Baxter opens with his trademark lethargic fist pump. No reaction at all from Felton.
As if on cue, Donald Baxter with the first move, and what a move it was.
Merv, I said it during the Crazytown Copy Center pregame show. Baxter loves to start strong, and today is no different. What a way to set the tone.
And so far, Felton has simply not responded.
I don't think his head's in the game, Merv.
Baxter casually takes a chip from the bowl, but only eats part of it.
And another strong move from Donald Baxter.
Merv, is this what I think it is?
It is indeed a Tostitos scoop.
Merv, I'll tell you, Felton still looks lost out there. There is still no eyeball movement of any kind. You have to wonder if he's 100%.
Baxter dips his partially eaten chip into the onion dip, eats all but a small piece, and dips the remaining crumb and most of his thumb back into the dip.
And here comes Baxter with a double. No, a triple dip. How often do you see that?
Wow, Merv, this could get ugly. Felton needs to focus, or he'll be unable to climb out of this early hole.
Felton picks up his phone, licks the dip off his thumb, and begins his patented scrolling move.
And out of nowhere, phone intercepts his attention. What a move by the inanimate object.
Felton's divided focus can only mean one thing, Merv. Fantasy team.
My goodness.
This is way out of character, Merv. Felton hasn't been fantasy flagged since week 1, when he spent an hour on the can researching sleeper picks.
Felton has clearly confused his phone with the remote. Those thumbs are all over the place.
Felton reaches for the remote. Here comes the channel change. Denied.
He's trying to check on his fantasy players from another game, but Felton and these remotes are simply not on the same page.
And he changes the input source from HDMI to AV1. What an embarrassment.
Merv, the last thing you want to see is an early fumble.
He cannot connect.
And the crowd here at JP Morgan Chase Living Room is letting him hear it.
Baxter, what a pro.
Oh, Donald Baxter steals the remote with authority.
Classic home field advantage. You gotta love his remote control.
It's a blowout.
Baxter may go for the jugular here with some aggressive play calling. He might even spring for a beverage.
Indeed, Baxter begins surveying his options. He fakes left, jukes right, and then an unexpected move to the Merlot. Unbelievable.
What a huge departure for Baxter. Ever since college, he's been a PBR man. We never expected a wine, let alone a red, let alone a varietal. What a bold move. He's getting cocky and I love it.
Uh-oh. Baxter struggles with the corkscrew.
But out of nowhere, Baxter is stuffed at the line of corkage. It simply refuses to open. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a recalcitrant cork. Baxter is cork blocked.
Merv, after such a powerful start, we are finally seeing his Achilles heel, which is, of course, the opening of common beverages.
20 seconds have come, and 20 seconds have gone.
We may have witnessed history here, Merv. The record is 28 seconds.
Baxter has given up and puts the bottle on the table.
Oh my! Oh my! Donald Baxter has shattered the world record of beverage incompetence.
Now let's see if Felton can take advantage.
A diving grab by Felton, and he opens it.
Merv, it was a twist off!
Oh my goodness, the cork was never even on the field. What a mental error by Donald Baxter.
Baxter is as still as a statue, but that yawn says it all.
And he knows it, Merv. Look at his face. Look at his body language. That will haunt him forever.
Tammy, could this be the spark that Michael Felton so desperately needed?
No question about it, Merv.
Baxter and Felton continue to battle, with Felton gaining ground.
In a rare display of camaraderie, Baxter holds his hand up for a high five, but is left hanging.
Oh, rejected!
That has to be one of the best block shots I have ever seen in my 20 years of watching dudes watch sports.
Get that out of here!
And Baxter just can't believe it. He is still hanging out to dry.
Oh no! Is he going to? I think he might. Oh! Donald Baxter pretends he is stretching!
Merv, how quickly the tables can turn. Baxter has just lost the upper hand.
And the pun is not intended.
Just when we thought Felton was packing it in, we suddenly have a huge momentum shift.
And it is not looking good for Baxter, who appears to be drifting off into a catnap. Tammy, now I've seen everything.
And here's where the rookie's fresh legs come into play, because the aging veteran is simply unconscious.
And the open mouth will not be denied.
No question about it, Merv. I mentioned this yesterday on the Toyota Tundra radio show. Felton loves to catch his opponent sleeping, and this is where he is at his best. And here we go. We're seeing exactly that right now.
And in another trademark move, Felton places the empty chip bowl on Baxter's head.
And the bowl is on the head!
There goes Felton's signature move, the Fiesta Bowl. But will he take full advantage?
Felton just snapped a pic of the sleeping Baxter.
What's this? Could it be? It could! Donald Baxter just got Instagrammed.
That will sting!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are tied. What an astonishing comeback by Michael Felton.
No question about it, Merv. I would not be surprised if the game was tight from now on. These players are hungry for victory.
Felton surveys the remains of the snacks. It's slim pickings.
Felton surveys the field. We've got a wide open man. Felton goes deep.
Felton reaches across the table for the last Hot Pocket.
Intercepted!
What a grab! Baxter came out of nowhere to pick his Hot Pocket.
And now he begins to multitask.
And it may well be the most irresponsible multitasking in league history. He's now going next level by answering an email from his boss. And hold on, I believe he just began chatting with his infant niece, and he is barely paying attention.
What a below average uncle!
I've never seen anything like this, Merv. Baxter is simply locked in, but you have to wonder if he's leaving himself vulnerable.
Felton picks up Baxter's phone, types a few things, and puts it back down. Stealth move.
As if on cue, here comes Felton with the backdoor cut and a spectacular steal.
Merv, this is epic! It appears he's hijacked Baxter's Facebook page and has posted a fake status update.
For more, we take you live to the Olive Garden When You're Here, Your Family Unlimited Breadsticks Facebook zone. And here's the low post.
Oh dear. Baxter's Facebook page now says, I heart Olaf.
How emasculating!
Merv, once Baxter got Instagrammed, you knew it was only a matter of time before some good old-fashioned social media retribution.
I am still on MySpace.
Merv, we've reached the final minute, which means these two men are going to have to dig deep.
They survey the spread. There's not much edible remaining on the field.
Bear in mind there aren't any tater tots, despite their 99.4% approval rating.
And out of nowhere, Felton attacks the same buffalo wing he finished hours ago.
Now we'll see how Baxter responds given the limited options.
He looks downfield, pump fakes, goes deep, and he drains 5 crumbs from an empty bowl of Ruffles.
Neither player is backing down. They will literally eat anything to avoid walking 10 feet to the kitchen.
And Felton unloads a used ketchup packet. But here comes Baxter, who knocks down a couch cushion Sour Patch Kid. But here's Michael Felton from downtown. A banana! A banana! He eats a banana!
Nutrition from a sports fan? Merv, I am literally speechless.
How about that?
Baxter's holding his stomach, focusing on his breath, still fixated on the TV, but he is clearly in pain.
Wait a minute. Oh no, it looks like Baxter is down.
His heart and colon are on fire.
No question about it, Merv. You never want to see this, but at the same time, you cannot be surprised. Both men were clearly at capacity, yet continue to stuff their fat faces. And this after Baxter's rehab from last year's 7-layer dip.
7 debilitating layers.
Merv, this crowd has gone silent. You could hear a pin drop.
We now kindly ask our home viewers to say a prayer for a full recovery and to honor this brief moment of silence. What's this? He's okay. He's okay, folks. He's gonna be all right.
Thank goodness.
And don't look now, but he's getting right back into the field. What a fighter.
You gotta love the guts on this guy, Merv. What courage. What a warrior. What a true hero. This is a man you want to go to battle with.
And it is in no way disrespectful that we regularly equate sports to actual war.
Not in the least. Now, Merv, here comes the moment of truth. In these final seconds, we'll see which man turns out to be a loser and which man also turns out to be a loser.
10 seconds on the clock. With the game on the line, here comes the final play.
Baxter and Felton, two time-honored warriors, stand together as the final play unfolds. In socially acceptable locker room display of affection, they slap each other's butts and bump chests.
Oh, yes, yes! Oh my goodness, this is the greatest game I have ever seen, at least since last week!
What a finish, Merv! This is the happiest day of my life! Better than my wedding! Better than the birth of my child!
Not so fast, Tammy. I do believe we have a GoDaddy.com challenge flag.
Oh boy, here we go. The officials will have to review the final sequence.
Good golly, Miss Molly!
Well put, Merv. Let's watch the replay to see what the officials are looking at. First, we have the dance move sequence. Oh no, Merv. I did not notice this in real time, but Baxter is intensely biting his lower lip.
Oh my!
That could cost him. And is Felton doing the cabbage patch? Talk about old school.
Michael Felton, living in the past.
No question about it, Merv. Now let's take a close look at the man hug. Right away we see the moist left eye. Merv, those are definitely tears. Extremely unmanly. That'll cost him. And what is Baxter doing with his phone?
Donald Baxter, watching a video of cats playing with yarn.
This is uglier than we thought, Merv. Let's hope at least the chest bump was clean. Wait a second. Did they even make contact? It may be too close to call.
Let's watch that again, this time in Crazytown Censorship Society super slow motion. Oh! Ooh! They cannot connect.
Oh my! The officials have indicated that all penalties are offsetting, which means
we are going to overtime.
No question about it, Merv. This entire game will all come down to a sudden death verbal shootout, where each player will speak actual words to each other.
A verbal shootout! Tammy, is this the first time ever that two men during a sporting event will exchange actual words?
It will, Merv, and I don't mind telling you, this'll be riveting!
And the officials are set to start this overtime thriller. Hold on to your hats, because here we go.
Hey, what time is it?
4. Oh my goodness! It's over! It's over! Felton speaks fewer words and therefore comes away with the stunning overtime victory. The greatest comeback of all time ends with a word in one. A word in one. Do you believe in miracles that shouldn't be considered miracles because they're actually pretty insignificant?
No question about it, Merv. No question about it.
Well, folks, we have just witnessed the apex of greatness. Everything in life from here on out will be a depressing, bitter disappointment. But don't change that channel. Next up, our replay of the game you just saw. Tammy and I will certainly be watching. Good night.
In entertainment news, a new study reveals that celebrities sometimes do the same things that regular people do, like grocery shopping, walking dogs, or gaining weight.
Now for the latest on your ride home from work. We take you live to our eye-in-the-sky traffic copter and our very own Tabitha speed bump.
The Eye in the Sky traffic copter has landed here on the airport to refuel, so I can't see anything, but according to my iPhone, there's some traffic.
Thanks, Tabitha. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor.
Pants Incorporated. Buy pants.
And we're back.
Now for our newest segment, Michael on Music, where we take you live to our music correspondent, Josh. What have you got for us, Josh? 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 Josh!
Boom, boom.
That was Josh with Michael on Music.
Now for our second newest segment, Crazytown Corner. Here's Gretchen Reporterface.
Thanks, Jim. I'm Gretchen Reporterface, and welcome to Crazytown Corner. Here on Crazytown Corner, we take an in-depth look at our town's most beloved institutions. Tonight's profile, the Crazytown Censorship Society. You may know the Crazytown Censorship Society because of their famous lawsuit against the Nature Channel's unapologetic footage of bird nudity. But rest assured, bird nudity is only the tip of the Crazytown Censorship Society iceberg. Let's take a sneak peek right now at one of their captivating monthly meetings. We are here.
Everyone put your hands together for George and his thrilling slideshow on how Dr. Seuss is slowly destroying America. That was one unforgettable hour and 45 minutes. Before our final presentation, a friendly reminder to pay your membership dues, without which the Crazytown Censorship Society would cease to exist. And now, what you've all been waiting for, let's give a warm Crazytown welcome for tonight's keynote presentation from the good people at Corporation Incorporated.
Good evening, Crazytown Censorship Society members, and on behalf of Tom, myself, and the entire Corporation Incorporated family, thank you for having us.
So far tonight, we've heard a great deal of concern about the erosion of family values. Well, worry no further, because Shelley and I are mere minutes away from answering your prayers.
Because we're about to introduce a product so useful and so life-changing, we know you'll be satisfied. Which is why we offer a 30-hour money-back guarantee.
But let's not delay, Shelley, if you will.
Throughout history, Americans have yearned for 3 things. 1.
Put a man on the moon.
2.
End hunger.
And 3.
Do theater without all the dirty parts.
Let's review. Moon, check. Hunger, close enough. But producing plays without all that R-rated garbage, that challenge has eluded us for generations.
Until now.
Until now, indeed. Because Corporation Incorporated has developed a breathtaking new product, scientifically proven by science, to be the perfect tool for any family-friendly theater. Introducing the Play Purifier.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Allow me to present a scenario, Tom. Imagine you're a director.
Okay.
And you're directing the David Mamet play, Glengarry Glen Ross, but it's just filled with ugly words.
Goodness.
Now, in this town, if an actor curses, your directing career is over. So, what do?
Choose a different play by David Mamet, one without swears?
A fine idea, but no.
Choose a play by a different writer?
Wrong again. The play you'll direct is David Mamet's Glengarry Glen Ross.
But how?
With the Play Purifier, a sophisticated computer algorithm that automatically censors every offensive word.
I don't understand.
Well, Tom, you know the saying, actions speak louder than dirty words.
It's my favorite saying.
So I will show you exactly what happens after the play is treated with the Play Purifier. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you David Mamet 100% sanitized.
Act 1, Scene 1. Roma and Link enter the real estate office.
So, you made the deposit.
Last week, sure. I think so.
You think so?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
You're pretty sure. You're pretty sure? You know what, Jim? You're a son of a gun. You hear me? A son of a gun. This was your boo-boo, Jim. And like all boo-boos, it's gonna hurt like another trucker.
I'm sorry.
You stupid meanie butt. You lost 10 grand, poopy pants. What are you gonna do about it? Huh? Oh, this is pony waste. You know what you are, Jim? You know what you are? You're a jerky jerk jerk jerk.
Ricky, come on.
No, you heard me. Jerky jerk jerk jerk.
That was amazing.
Tom, it only gets amazinger.
The play purifier doesn't just clean foul language, it has literally tens of other uses.
Tens?
Let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of William Shakespeare?
No.
Neither had I, until I was informed he's a writer of some local renown. But I'll tell you, Tom, renown or no renown, we receive 2, sometimes 3 letters every decade from customers expressing concern that the Shakespeare includes violence in his plays.
Violence?
That was my exact reaction, which is why the play purifier was developed to automatically scrub away even the bloodiest of scenes. Let's see how it fixes a play called Romeo and Juliet.
Act 3, Scene 1. Tybalt and Mercutio enter the town square, each armed with water balloons.
This shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore, turn and draw.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives.
I am for you.
A plague on both your houses.
That was so intense.
It only gets better, Tom. It only gets much, much better.
I have a question.
You, Tom? Yes?
Can this product do anything about a scene where the violence has already taken place off stage, but we still see the bloody aftermath?
It's possible Tom's referring to the Greek drama Medea, in which the title character appears with her 2 young children she's murdered.
I have always been anti-child murder.
Now, Tom, you and I both know that nobody wants to even think about double infanticide.
Don't tell me this product cleans up double infanticide.
If I didn't tell you, Tom, I'd be withholding the truth, which may very well be tantamount to lying, and lying is not what America is about. America is about the truth and freedom and making sure that no one is ever offended by anything, which is why we will show these good people how the play purifier can automatically transform Medea from worthless trash into pure dramatic gold.
Lights up on Jason before the doors of Medea's house.
Remove the bar on that door at once, so I may see my dead sons and their murderer, that woman who I shall exact revenge.
Enters Medea with 2 frozen chickens.
Why are you trying to take the bodies of me, the one who killed them? Stop trying. If you want something from me, then say so, but you never have me in your grasp.
That was beautiful.
Now, I know some of you may be thinking, what about vegans?
I was just thinking, what about vegans?
Well, don't you fret, because the play purifier is always a step ahead.
Lights up on Jason before the doors of Medea's house.
Remove the bar on that door so I may see my dead sons and their murderer.
Enters Medea with 2 large cantaloupes.
Incredible. Now, Shelley, what about plays that deal with, how shall I say it, nighttime activities?
Good question, Tom. Some plays contain graphic scenes involving nudity and the act of premarital bedtime intimacy, which is not only totally gross, but inaccurate, since according to a recent study, only 1% of Americans even hold hands before marriage.
Get a room.
Let's hear how the play purifier works its magic on the play Frankie and Johnny and the Claire de Lune, and its infamous opening scene, where the title characters have passionate sex with nudity, all while not married.
Lights up on Frankie and Johnny in separate beds. Johnny is reading a book, and Frankie is knitting.
Oh.
Oh my, Johnny.
That's right, yes.
You got it.
Alright.
Oh.
Oh.
It was like watching the original production.
That's the miracle of the play purifier.
Is there any problem this product can't fix?
I'm glad you asked, Tom. How about the problem of gayness? What do you know about the gays, Tom?
A great deal, Shelley. I have a very close friend who's a gay.
What's his name?
Not sure. Don't you have a gay coworker?
That's right, Tom.
How's that coming along?
I tolerate her every day.
Terrific!
But next time you put on a play with gay themes, your audiences won't even have to worry about tolerance, because the play purifier takes care of everything for you.
Wonderful.
Let's hear how the play Angels in America instantly becomes something real Americans can enjoy, The alterations are so subtle, you won't even notice the difference.
Lights up in Harper and her husband Joe in their Manhattan apartment.
Where do you go every night? Don't tell me to calm down. Where do you go? Because it's late, Joe. Because I'm your wife. You want me to ask you? Fine, I will. Are you gay? Are you? If you walk away right now, so help me. Enough with the lies! Give me a real answer, Joe! Joe!
Fun fact, the actor playing Joe won the Tony for that performance.
Speaking of awards, in the 90s, the world was taken by storm by an award-winning musical called Rent. Rent covers a number of issues, including sex, drug use, strippers, violence, gays, lesbians, bisexuals, transvestites, homelessness, suicide, and AIDS.
But are there curse words?
Hundreds.
There's no way the play purifier can help that train wreck.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you the musical sensation Rent, completely free of offensive material.
525,600 minutes.
It's so catchy.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard with your very own uncorrupted ears, the play purifier is the answer to all your theatrical needs.
Well, I'm ready to buy, and I hope you are too.
Good night, everybody. God bless, but most of all,
We accept some major credit cards.
And we're back.
we now bring you live to Nadia Kneejerk in her award-ineligible segment, Shame on You times 1,000.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
I'm here live at Crazytown Orphanage where philanthropist billionaire Gertrude Gate is about to donate a check for $1 billion.
As a former orphan, it was the least I could do to give back.
But tell me, Miss Gate, if you were so intent on helping these children, why give an oversized, fake check that would be invalid at any bank? Are you pretending to be charitable when in reality you are donating $0?
The actual money was donated this morning with a real check.
Was it?
Yes.
But was it?
Yes.
You heard it here, folks. Gertrude Gate, and presumably her husband, too, hates orphans.
You're awful.
As the good book says, awfulness is in the eye of the awful. And I say, shame on her. Shame on her times 1,000.
Shame. Shame.
Thanks, Nadia. Way to smoke out the truth. We now check back with our apocalypse expert, Kevin O'Geddon. Kevin, anything new to report?
No.
All right, Kevin. Be sure to keep us posted.
Wait a second. Oh, no.
Thanks, Kevin. And now for our weekly opinion piece, we bring you an old woman.
I'm old. I hate everything. Sunshine, fax machines, happiness, in conclusion, get off my lawn.
Thanks, old woman.
Well, we are just seconds away from hour, which means we won't have time to cover the following stories. The city will run out of oxygen by midnight, several thousand zombies have risen from a local cemetery, and the Golden State Warriors are moving back to Oakland.
From everyone here at KOMG Action News, I'm Babs Buttleby.
And I'm Jim Pickles. Good night.
Good day.
And so it goes.
And that's the way it is.
That's the nightly news for this Wednesday night.
And that's part of our world tonight.
Good night and good luck.
Glad we could get together.
Good night and a good tomorrow.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's the news, and I'm out of here.